And I'm back with more Dual Destinies. And it's time to talk with you and Robin about their confessions. So let's see. Hallway. Yeah, it was hallway. Okay. Hey, that's you over there. We wanted a word with you if you don't mind. If it was Mr. Wright, then sure, but you two? I knew it. There's a hint of discord in his voice. You're not getting off that easy. After all, you're a possible suspect. Plus, you actually confessed in court. Whatever. So what do you want from me? But make it brief, I don't got a lot of time. And I assume you don't either. About your confession today. You weren't serious about that, were you? Let's just say I had no choice, thanks to a certain lawyer who failed to get the job done. So you really were prepared to take the blame for this? Not gonna happen. The voice on the tape is female, so that rules me out. Let's put it this way. You don't actually believe that ridiculous play on words, do you? Well, my confession's just like that. A means to an end. Or as we say around here, the end justifies the means. I actually do believe that voice is shouting you, O'Connor. Juniper's confession was quite advantageous for the real killer. But if Robin and I were actually the killer, we wouldn't have confessed. It's that simple. Even you should be capable of reasoning. Of such reasoning, or have I overestimated you? You'd make a great lawyer someday. And you should enjoy getting under people's skins. Could you and Robin's confessions really prove their innocence? It's gonna take some serious thinking on my part. Sure looked like Prosecutor Blackwheel was twisting your arm to testify. Is there some sort of secret he's using against you? You really are a rank amateur. Even if that were true, you think I'd open up to you? So he's not denying it. Your secret might be causing discord. And then again, we have the same problem with Junie and Robin. You're just wasting your time and mine. Next question. About that meeting with Professor Courte on the 23rd. Why didn't she want to see you? I have no intention of telling you. You have to force it out of me any way you can. Ugh. Professor Mean strikes again. Then again, you is in the lawyer course. Didn't Professor Courte used to say that the only good result is the truth? So why don't you drop this whole charade and just tell me the truth? The truth. How can you be sure it'll help you solve the case? The truth isn't necessarily your friend, nor Juniper's for that matter. You're wrong! I don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna defend her the right way, using the truth. It's the only way to honor Junie's wishes in Professor Courte's memory. I see. Very well. I'll testify tomorrow about the truth you're so interested in. You. But... don't look at me if something happens to Juniper because of it. Understand? What's that supposed to mean? What a terrible thing to say. I thought you guys were friends. We were. Until just recently, actually. Were? I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore. What, why? Why? Just as I have my secret, she has a side you've never seen. Juniper's not all sunshine and rainbows like you think she is. What are you saying? This conversation's over. I said, I don't have a lot of time, and I meant it. You? Wait! He's gone. He doesn't care about her anymore. Why would he say that? Well, that didn't go well. Guess we just have to pin our hopes on his testimony. I'm thinking, what do you say we just head over to the art room? Might be a nice change of pace. Hopefully the police have completed their investigation. Well, we don't really have much time left anyway. If it isn't my little lawyer friends again. Thanks again for lowering the banner. Don't mention it. Helping those in need is what my brand of justice is all about. Right. So this art room's where the murder actually occurred? That's right. Can't see it with the naked eye, but there's blood on the floor. An area tarped or roped off in the middle marks a spot. Police investigation's done, so if you want to look around, knock yourself out. Find anything new? Good question. Unfortunately, the answer is nothing much yet. She was confident for having found nothing. But if we're talking outside the art room, there's been a major breakthrough. Oh dear. I gotta find out what that is. Until I find out what it is, I'm not sure what I'll do. No need for the theatrics. I was told I could fill you in on this one. Man, you saw right through me. I'm impressed. Looking to get arrested for murder via unwanted flattery, aren't we? Unwarranted. Okay. You want to know? You really, really want to know? You really? Come on, just tell us already. You're no fun. Anywho, got the results of that voice print. Oh, you mean for the tape recorder? Exactly. The voice belongs to the suspect, Miss Woods, beyond a shadow of a doubt. See right here? They analyzed the voice on the tape inside and out. And you thought the voice in the tape would have said you, O'Connor? Thanks for that good laugh. It's the last person I want laughing at me. So now there's evidence of Juniper shouting, "You're a goner" at the time of death? If we were to take this as the truth, how are we supposed to make sense of it? I don't know. Can't think of any reason why Junie would have shouted in the first place. Mock trial script on the floor nearby, an envelope marked "Use"? I wonder if Miriam's script really is inside that envelope. Let's just see. By Miriam Scuttlebutt. And the title is Rouge de Noir, Crimson Blood, and Dark Judgment? I wouldn't take part in that mock trial if she begged me. It says there are specific rules to follow in the payment of bribes when the court's adjourned. Oh, you could bring it up to $3 worth of fabricated evidence. It also says, "Welcome to the darkest mock trial ever, where the end justifies the means?" Prosecution claims this is the script that was supposed to have been used. But the scripts were selected by Professor Courte. Considering how much she valued the truth, I seriously doubt she'd pick a script entitled Crimson Blood and Dark Judgment. Man, you have that title memorized already? Pottery. Look, a piece of pottery. Looks like it's already been fired. I bet Robin made it. And I bet it wouldn't last long, not with the way she deals with her own work. Yeah, it seems like such a waste. And this one already has some color on it. It just looks like bloodstains the way that the glaze was dribbled on it. Just like bloodstains. In justice we trust! It does look like bloodstains. We'd better examine it at once. I get it. The victim was stabbed in the middle of the room where the big bloodstain is. and then brought over here, at which point some of her blood was dripped into the pieces. That means the body very well could have been dropped out of the window. In the mock trial script, the body was dropped onto a mat. Then a ball cart was used to move it to the stage. Maintenance area is right below this room. The storehouse has a mat and ball cart. So, even the moving of the body was carried out just like the script? Killer sure had a thing for the script. Well, what do you expect? That's why we suspected her in the first place. But you're wrong, and I'm gonna prove it in court. This is the clock that created that major problem. Let's take a closer look. Don't waste your time, I checked it. 100% accurate. You sure? How'd you check it? Of course I'm sure, I compared it with my own watch. See? Detective Fulbright, didn't you notice your watch had stopped? It has? This is unacceptable. We obviously can't rely on him. Let's just look for ourselves. Let's see. Wait a second. It's ahead by a whole hour. But that clock must have been an hour ahead when the photo was taken. If so, that would fit perfectly with Junie's testimony. Prosecutor Blackwell won't like this. I almost feel sorry for you. You could at least pretend to feel sorry by wiping that big grin off your face. Wait just a minute. The clock is an hour ahead right now, sure. But what proof do you have that it's been running ahead the day of the crime? That's a good question. Wait, I think I might just have something. Detective Fulbright, you would agree that there's a moon outside the window, right? Sure, nice crescent one, like something out of a picture book. But if you look at the window at the back of the winch attached to it, you'll see that the only view he had was the opposite side of the school building. Then what's the moon doing there? I wonder. I get it. Isn't this the same one painted on the stage's backdrop? Proof's right here. This shows it was 6 p.m.
Take that!
I know what this moon really is. And if you look at this photo, you'll know too. It shows that the moon in the photo came from and the truth of Junie's testimony. Wait, what? Where? Where does it show that? If you look right here, it'll become crystal clear.
Take that!
They're still prepping the stage, so the backdrop wasn't in place yet. This photo shows them in the process of moving the backdrop. I can see that. It's a big board hanging there. Size matches too. But there's no picture! That's a crucial detail! It is, but I believe what we're seeing is the back of the board. The back of the... That's right. That was around 6 p.m. when this was taken. A photo of that same board was taken from the front. What do you mean the front? The front is against the wall! That's where you're wrong. What about the window? Remember how I said the moon shouldn't even exist in the photo? Take a good look. Were you suggesting the moon is the one on the backdrop? Exactly. In short, the photo was taken while the backdrop was being moved. And as you can see, it was around 6 p.m. when the backdrop was being put in place. So the art room and the clock was running fast for as far back as the day of the murder. How can I face Blackwell now? I just blew a hole in that piece of evidence. Yay. We're smart. Table, white outline, and then a winch. Hey, it's gone. Remember that strange statue in the school camera photo? You're right. I wonder what it is. I was a member of the Fine Arts Club. Maybe she could could shed some light on this. And then the winch over there. Some wire and a winch. So that's how they wheeled the banners in and out. It's a nice view of the stage from here. Prosecutor Gavin's still standing in front of that broken statue. So it really wasn't you? Don't worry, you could tell me. I won't tell anyone. Ugh. We'll never clear my name unless we catch the culprit. Well, I think we've examined pretty much everything. By the way, did Prosecutor Blackwell say anything would happen in tomorrow's trial? In justice we trust! It's no use trying to pry more information out of me. Having just learned that the clock was 1 hour ahead, means we're back to square one concerning the suspect's actions that day. I don't know what the main argument will be. How the body was moved would be my guess, but Prosecutor Blackwell's got his own plans. Oh, does he now? Detective? Try as you might, I won't say another word! I wasn't gonna ask about that. I was just wondering if you'd seen Robin. Oh, you mean Miss Newman? She was here just a moment ago. She mumbled something about watching videos in the lecture hall. Video? What video? Thanks, Detective. You know, we should stop by the lecture hall. Right, let's go. Yay! Oh, there she is! Robin! Hey, Robin! Oh, Athena! Apollo! What are you watching there? Oh, it just happens to be a video of the mock trial. Had to use a bit of coercion to get it, but ends justify the means, right? There it is again. Professor Mean sure has a lot of influence around here. Care to look into the true connection between the murder and the mock trial with me? Sounds great, but do you mind if we ask you some questions first? Sure. Tell you anything you W-A-N-T. What about your confession? Why'd you do it? Because Juniper hasn't done anything wrong. I had to stop the trial by any means possible. Right. And justifies the means, so you're a follower of Professor Means too? Professor Means is a wonderful teacher. So is Professor Courte. I like the B-O-T-H. She brushed that one off like a pro. But with that style of justice, you run the risk of breaking the law. No, I'm prepared to quit school because of the case. I want to be an artist! That's what I really want, man! But no! My parents forced me to study to become a prosecutor! But if the trial went south, you'd have to drop out and give up on being a prosecutor. That's what you're really after, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Talk about someone who literally changes at the bat of an eyelash. She's been dealing with her own problems. Guess that makes sense. I suppose so, but that doesn't make what she did right. Could you tell us about what you were doing in the night of the murder? Finishing a statue. I was on stage until the last bell. That's right. You made statues of Mr. Wright and Prosecutor Gavin, didn't you? Oh, yeah, I did. Both of them. This is just a formality, but can you prove you were making the statues at the time? Can I prove it? You think I'm the killer now? No, it's not what I meant. Both you and Robin were still at the school after 7, but neither of them could prove exactly what they were doing. Could one of them really have murdered Professor Courte? Okay. Now, have there been any problems now that everyone knows you're a girl? No worries there. I discussed the matter with Professor Courte some time ago. I told her I wanted to let everyone know I was really a girl. And just today, I found out she spoke with the school administration on my behalf. Wow, must really like you. I know, right? But now I can finally be myself here at the school. I don't have to hide the fact I love girly clothes. That's why I must simply have this and this by any means possible. But this is evidence we need. Sorry, but no can do. Oh, don't be a party pooper, Athena. Come on, please. Pretty, please. Darn it. Let me thank you again. Thank you for revealing who I really am. I wanted everyone to know before the snitch found out. The snitch? Sounds like a new lead. The snitch! Snitches get stitches, you know? There's a rumor going around that one of the students here was a snitch. Here they're watching everything we do. Our activities, our relationships, our interests. And reporting it all to one of the professors. Why would anyone do that? Officially, I've heard it's to seek out misconduct among the student body. But rumor has it grades were being bought and sold through the surveillance network. That's bribery! Yeah, the situation in this place is worse than I thought. All this important stuff, I still want to ask about that thing in the art room. I'll have to present the evidence, then I'll show her what I'm talking about, though. Okay, so school camera photo. Robin, I just remembered something I wanted to ask you. This photo shows a piece of art on the table. Do you know what it is? Whoa! Look at that unique artistic sense! It says to be one of her creations, man! Professor Courte's artistic sense. Professor Courte's artistic sense. That's a tough one. I'd say it's avant-garde or very eclectic. Blah, blah. Anyway, in other words, it's weird and all over the place. Come to think of it, that strange-looking painting in the art room is one of hers as well. The statue in the photo is originally a statue of Lady Justice. Professor Courte had planned on placing it in the judge's bench in the lecture hall. But the day before the mock trial, it broke while she was polishing it. She said she'd take it back to the art room and try to fix it. So, this is the statue in the proper state? You bet! Just look at the wild silhouette. It's just so C-U-T-E. I don't get it. Do you have to be an artist to appreciate? Yes. I never understood avant-garde shit either. You know, that Lady Justice you put back together. Oh, right. I didn't realize it before it was in pieces, but before it smashed. Maybe it didn't look like Lady Justice, but more like it does in the photo. What was it doing on the stage? Well, I think that about covers it. Okay, then how about we watch the mock trial? What do you say? Sounds good to me. So, how are you gonna watch it? All classroom desks at the school have their built-in computers, you know. Wow, this place is definitely a lot cushier than I thought. I know you guys are in a hurry, so we'll just fast forward to the important bit. Let's start with the professor's pre-trial speech. Good afternoon. I'd like to start by thanking you for coming here today. That sounds like Professor Means. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. Is this camera like this the whole time? Yeah, it's in a fixed position in front of the stage. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for this day to come. How come teacher speeches always make me so sleepy? Let's just skip to the end of the speech. Now, let the mock trial begin. Wait, what's the deal? Why is Junie so large in the shot? Looks to me she cut right in front of the camera. Juniper was also in charge of the audio. Even though she'd already been playing a part in the mock trial? She had to do it to keep the script details secret. She was all over the place that day. When she wasn't at the trial, she was in the audio control room dealing with the music. Oh, so this is what the lecture hall looks like. Looks like there's a judge's bench behind the screen and a witness stand up front. What about those balconies with the professor's names on? Those are the faculty seats. Professor Means and Professor Courte were in charge of scouting the mock trial, or scoring it. Yay! Let's see. Present. Okay. Right, let's fast forward this a bit. And that is why the defendant is definitely guilty! Ah! It was me! How could you tell? Objection! Frill Coed used her bare hands to stab her professor with an arrow? I don't think so. You read that line in the mock trial. But you made it sound kind of weird. Cut me some slack, it was my first time. I think Juniper's gonna speak next. I didn't do it! I'd suffered a breakdown and pretty much lost it. It's true I shouted, "You're a goner," but I didn't mean it. Man, what an emotional performance. She puts a real actress to shame. Wait, could you go back a bit? Really think that's necessary? Oh. Wait, did you hear that? I think you're onto something. Let's play that last part again. I don't follow. What are you guys so excited about? I think this piece of evidence should explain it. Alright.
Take that!
I'm sure you remember this. It contains a female voice shouting a violent threat. I'll play it for you. The voices and performance do sound similar, but I can't believe this is happening. It's just a possibility, but if the voice in the tape is really a recording, one made from the mock trial video, then this means this evidence was fabricated. They didn't get to do a voice print analysis in time for court. That's why the gender of the voice was so important. And if the real killer had foreseen that gender would become a key in today's trial, he would have tried to deflect attention away from himself by making the suspect female. So basically, the only one with someone to gain from this is our sole male suspect. Wait a second! No! No way! Professor Means' credo is the end justifies the means. So it makes perfect sense the student who took those words to heart would fabricate evidence. We need to get that tape analyzed as soon as possible. Huh? Oh, allow me to assist you with that. Prosecutor Gavin, please make some kind of noise. It's go big or go home with Rockstar entrances, Fräulein. Timing is everything. Let me make a copy of that tape right now. I'll get you the result as soon as I can. I trust that would be alright. Very much so, thank you. And unfortunately, we probably never see him again. Oh well. Well, it's almost sundown. Isn't it about time we head back to the detention center? I think Junie will agree that this is something that could prove her innocence, but will her heart really be open to accepting it? She had to have known that this is what I'd find. And that about covers the main gist of our investigation. I see. It's very interesting. You've been quite a busy beaver. Thank you for all your hard work, Athena. But my time's almost up, and it will be getting dark soon, so... Junie! You must be tired from being on your feet all day. You should go home and... No, wait! You have to listen to me! I don't want to hear anymore. I know what you're gonna say. Junie, you promised. So please, just listen to what I have to say. Once you've heard me out, I'll let you decide what you want to do. The voice in this recording has been proven to be yours. And in the mock trial video, we can hear you reading a line from your script. Running both of them analyzed now, but from what can I tell, the voices are the same. And the only one who'd benefit from faking that would be you. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, you confessed in order to protect me. It may sound strange, but his confession's a ploy to make himself look less suspicious. In other words, he's just pretending to protect you. Besides, his confession came after you and Robin had already confessed. If he hadn't confessed right there as well, wouldn't that have seemed a little suspicious? Say what you will, but none of us would hurt a fly, let alone kill someone. He's a gifted student. He gets outstanding grades and never causes trouble. Oh. Junie, can you look me in the eye and repeat what you just said? None of us would hurt a fly, let alone kill someone. He's a gifted student. Uh-oh. I'm sure of it. She's lying. Juniper, you start coughing when you're under stress. You can't hide it from me no matter how hard you try. When you said he never causes trouble, a cough escaped and made your scarf flutter. For why you were stressed, it's because you were lying. Junie, you're trying to hide his connection to this case, aren't you? And I believe this also ties into a secret about yourself. A secret? About me? I don't understand. I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you. Oh. Yeah, this is the thing. Whoops. He ended their friendship after he found out about her secret, which means you must have felt betrayed, making her the snitch. You were Professor Courte's snitch, weren't you? And while fulfilling that role, you learned something about you you'd rather forget. I don't know what you're talking about. Junie, please, stop hiding it from me. I hate having to force things out of you like this. Looks like we're gonna have to do this the hard way. Time to review the evidence and see if I can prove it. I've got something to prove she's the snitch.
Take that!
Right here in Courte's planner it says routine report. I believe this is meant to mean that something when the snitch would report to Professor Courte. I also believe that she planned to meet him in private based on the info. And from their meeting, you must have put 2 and 2 together and figured out your secret. So you see, it all makes sense only if you're the snitch. Forgive me. Forgive me, Fina. I've been lying to you this whole time. Truth is, I suspected it from the start. You did? That's surprising. I'm so sorry. I talked about friendship so much, but I've been a terrible friend. Juniper, I don't have the special kind of hearing that Athena does, and I don't need it to sense the pain you're feeling. And its intensity is directly proportional to how you feel. Am I right? Apollo. Please, Junie, tell me why you suspected him. I have a feeling that'll be the key to getting to the bottom of this. What exactly is your role as a snitch? Professor Courte told me how the Academy alumni had strayed from the path of justice. The dark age of the law, huh? She didn't want any more of our students going astray. But few others at the Academy shared her view. I thought her ideas were beautiful, though. Sad and unrealistic. She asked you to be her eyes and ears, didn't she? I used to report on her once a month about any wrongdoings I'd seen or heard about. And the report sessions in her planner, the front from October 22nd, was a part of that. Yes. When I reported you to Professor Courte, she snitched on her own friend. I'd accidentally overheard you talking. What'd you hear? He was talking to someone on the phone. I think it was one of his parents. What were they talking about? Something about having paid money for good test scores. I only overheard him talking, so I never did find out where the money was going to. What? He's buying his way through school? If that's the case, then that evidence seems out of place actually makes sense now.
Take that!
We found this while we were investigating the stage. It's got Yu's name on it. I don't know what the number means, but now that I'm hearing about bribes, it must mean the bribe of 120 grand was paid in October. What's more, take a look at the mark. That same mark is on the pages of the planner. You're right. Wait, but why would Professor Courte have that kind of information in her planner? I don't really think that person she was taking the bribe money was... It's a possibility at this point, but it might have been Professor Courte herself. But... That's impossible. She'd be the last person I'd ever suspect of accepting bribes. Like I said, it's just a possibility, but a rather good one. Maybe their private talk had to do with the possibility of the bribery being exposed. And what started out as a little argument got out of hand. It's not your fault. Anybody would have suspected you if they'd known. No, I don't believe that alone would have driven him to murder. There's another reason I suspected him. You gotta be kidding me. There's another reason? I saw you around 7 p.m. that day. She's finally ready to talk about that. When I saw him, his... Dana? Junie, are you alright? Just relax and tell me what happened.
I never wanted to see what I did. But I'll have to live with it, won't I? In that hallway, Hugh's hands... His hands were dripping with blood.
Ugh. What? Why? What am I gonna do? Deep down, I know he can't be the killer. But my mind keeps telling me he is. No matter how hard I try to convince myself he isn't. What am I gonna do? I can't take this anymore. Dana. So she hid the fact that she'd seen him and said she went home at 6 because she wanted to avoid talking about what she saw. Junie, must have been terrible holding all that in. It's gonna be okay. I'll get to the bottom of this. And that's my promise from one good friend to another. I'll be defending Junie tomorrow. Junie tomorrow. If that's okay with you, Professor Means. My main concern is whether you can defeat that prosecutor. But I won't try to stop you. I will be watching you from the gallery. and she'll be looking forward to seeing what kind of results your methods produce. Good luck tomorrow. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Athena, I'm sorry. I really mean it. I wish I trusted you from the start. You have to uncover the truth tomorrow. I know you can do it.
Don't worry. We already know that you've got the prosecution's that the key piece of evidence is a fake. And thanks to you, we figured out the motive, too. Let's give it our best shot, Athena. Tomorrow will be the day she walks free. I wouldn't have it any other way. We should all be ready now. What could possibly go wrong this time? I don't know. What could possibly go wrong? Quoting Bubsy? Yeah, that could be a problem. Still, there's this strange, uneasy feeling I can't shake. I'd best be imagining it. What could possibly go wrong? Lots of things. Anyway, that'll do it for today. Hooray! I did the thing in the time I needed. So I'll save it here, and I'll get to the trial some other day. Thanks for watching.